Right before we jump into this video, if you haven't downloaded my Gear Vault yet, you might want to do that. It's the best way to input, organize, and protect your gear, as well as get an insurance quote, and it's free for iOS and Android. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a preview of two new Canon 70-200 lenses. Now I'm going to start with the first one, and that's the Canon 70-200 f4L IS version 2. Now this is a completely redesigned lens. So they went ahead and made a whole bunch of changes, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. There is now 5 stops of image stabilization versus 3 in the version 1. So 5 stops of stability is a lot better than 3, but does it compensate for the fact that this is an f4? Does it make it even better? Keep in mind, IS will not keep your subjects still if they're moving and you're shooting slow shutter speeds. It will just keep the background nice and sharp that's not moving and counteract any movement that you may be doing. The minimum focus distance is now 1 meter from 1.2 meters in the older one. It has a super Spectra coating, which cuts down on flare as well as ghosting, and it's gonna sell for $1,299 and be available at the end of June. So the question here is, do you spend $1,299 and buy something like a Tamron 2.8 G2 in their 70-200 version, or do you go with this 70-200 f4? Now, why would you go with a 70-200 f4, you may be asking? Well, if you are looking for a lighter lens that still has a nice zoom range, or you're looking for something lighter on a crop sensor camera, well, this might give you what you're looking for because you get more bang for your buck on the 80D, or it would look good on a 6D Mark II. But let's move on to the other lens that was announced, the Canon 70-200 2.8 LIS version 3. Now keep in mind that the version 2 was released back in 2010, and that's 8 years ago. That is a long time to go between updating the high-end professional lenses, so you might expect that they did a ton of upgrades like they did with the 70-200 f4 IS version 2. And to answer that question, just look at my paper. The answer is no, they didn't make a lot of upgrades, but did they swap the rings? The zoom ring to the outside and the focus ring to the inside, similar to what Nikon did? No, they didn't. They stuck with everything. The only things they changed, get this, air sphere coating to cut down on flare and ghosting, and the biggest, most insane thing that they changed, the color of the white that is on the lenses. That's right, they changed the color of the white paint that is on the 70-200 version 3. Does that make a big difference? No. The price? $2,099 versus the version 2, which is selling right now for $1,800. The question is, would you upgrade if you have a version 2? And I'd be hard-pressed to tell you yes. I don't see any reason why you would want to upgrade from the version 2 to the version 3 unless you really like the new color white. Yeah, so that's not that. What else could I say about it? It's such an amazing lens, the 70-200 version 2. It is so darn sharp, it is so darn fast, and they didn't make the changes or any changes in the version 3 other than the 2 things that I mentioned. So it's hard to tell anybody to sell the old one to buy the new one, but if you don't have the new one or you have a version 1, well, sell the version 1, get about $1,000 out of it. Yeah, $1,000 you could get out of that lens, and then put that into the new 70-200 version 3. It's still going to be a fantastic lens, but my question is, how is it going to compare to the 70-200 version 3 from Nikon, the newest one that they offer? Maybe I'll have to put them side by side and do a little bit of a test, but I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think it's worth the extra money to upgrade from version 2 to version 3? Did they do enough? Well, the answer is no, they didn't. I'll let you in on a little secret. But that's it. That's a preview of the two Canon 70-200 lenses, the f4, as well as the 2.8 version 3. And this was not an easy video to make with a cat sitting on my lap, trying to bite my finger, rub my arm, and now he'll probably sit down. That's where I'll leave it. Can we get a thumbs up for the cat, please? Thumbs up for the cat. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.